Welcome, guys. I'm Marcie Billen, and I'm a resident here in Norman, Oklahoma. And this is my weekly show. And I am your guide for all things real estate here in Oklahoma. So thanks so much for joining us. I did not think I was going to get to go live today, but some unexpected things happened, and here we are. So basically, some things canceled. And it's pretty awesome that I get to be here with you today. So before we get started, make sure that you hit that like button if my videos are of any help to you at all. Of course, if you are listening on the podcast, please be sure to hit the subscribe button or even leave me a review. That would be amazing as well. During these, I always want to hear from you. So last week we had so much fun having a conversation about the housing market here in Oklahoma. Today we are focusing on new homes. New homes here in Oklahoma or here in the US make up about 35% of total home sales. And I will show you one graph that's really telling, but basically, uh, what has happened over the past 15 or so years with new homes here in the US. And then we'll focus on the Oklahoma City Metro. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Oh, I'm so excited to see you. So go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me if you want to. You don't have to, because I probably wouldn't. I'm extremely introverted. Tell me where you're from. And yeah, I want to hear. So, okay. Oh, thanks so much. They said I'll be back to watch as I love seeing new homes and your previous videos I loved. Thank you so much. I love having you guys. So, if you didn't get it, I'm a real estate agent here in the Oklahoma City Metro, and I want to help you learn about what it's like to live here in the Oklahoma City Metro. And as you guessed, because I said it before, I do live in Norman. So, thanks so much. Okay. I also have a newsletter list, and you can get on that by going to the show notes or down to the description to find how to sign up for that. I have a really cool newsletter. I really like it, and it shows you some stuff that you may need to know about Oklahoma, videos, but also information, events, etc. So, yeah. And the past few weeks, I've had my drink. And guys, today's a drink day. I thought maybe I wasn't going to have my bourbon here with me on the show, but that's just how today ended up. So, yeah. It is Four Roses bourbon. I bought the same kind as I did last time because it's one of my favorites. It's just one of the better ones, right? Like for the lower end quality. So, or low-ish. I guess it's like mid-range. Anyway, cheers, you guys. So first, I want to show you some graphics. And oh goodness, if my brain just stops working for a second and it's just like a pause, it's because like just had a lot of stuff going on today. So ultimately this morning what did I do? I talked to a lot of people, and then I interviewed someone in front of my entire office, which was amazing. I had a lot of fun doing that. And then I came home and watched my cop show to chill out for a little bit because I will be working a little bit later tonight, which is fine. And my cat, apparently, if you can hear her crying, she wants me to not be working right now. As per usual, earlier she was carrying around one of her toys and wanted me to throw it. Okay, so here's what I wanted. So this is from the US government, so it's a little bit boring to look at. I was reading it earlier as I was eating lunch, but basically new homes sold January 2024, which of course, oh, my cat is crying. Of course, January 2024 are going to be the newest results that we have because it's just now March, so February is not out yet. So new homes sold, 661,000, new homes for sale, 456,000. And then my favorite of the things to look at here, median sales price for the whole of the US for new home sales is 420,700. I didn't put this up here on the screen for you guys because, like I said, it is pretty boring to look at. But I wanted to make note of this, and let me actually put this on the bottom of the screen for you so that you can see it. Um, so median price point for the US for new home sales is 420,700. So the reason we're saying that is because you're going to see what it is here in Oklahoma in certain towns, okay? And then I do want to show you this next thing that I was going to pull up for you. And this is from an article from Mortgage News Daily, and I want to show you this graph for new homes. Now, okay, so you're like, Marcie, why are you talking about new homes? The reason I'm talking about new homes is because I sell a lot of brand new homes. And I get it. I also live in a brand new home. So I'm in an ideal home here in Norman, and I'll show you some of those. So the reason I sell a lot of brand new homes, I think there are many reasons why people want to live in a brand new home. One seems like it's just a little bit easier because you're not like having to go through these inspections with the seller who may or may not want to fix things, etc. And if you've bought a brand new home, please jump in with any reasons why you wanted to buy a brand new home. I want to hear them. Another reason is because there are incentives that builders offer. And we're going to go over some of those as we look at these brand new homes that are available for sale here in the Oklahoma City metro. And then during the pandemic, so it wasn't like this everywhere. During the pandemic, during COVID, which in my world is like March of 2020, which, they said that this week, this is March 5th. This is our 4-year anniversary of our last normal week. Which is nuts that was 4 years ago, but it's also the 4-year anniversary or the 4-year birthday of my YouTube channel this month. Can you believe it? I've been making videos for you guys. Oh, sorry, my chair's making noise. I've been making videos for you guys for 4 years. I have loved most minutes of it, not every single minute, but you know the deal. So these homes, usually with a new home, you get incentives, but during COVID, people were buying new homes a lot of the time because you didn't have to compete. So there weren't like multiple offers on most brand new homes. Like I did have instances where it happened, usually with someone who wasn't a production builder. So a production builder is like a company that really like cranks them out. It doesn't mean they're bad quality. It just means that they're usually building like entire neighborhoods or pieces of like entire neighborhoods. So I had an instance where it was like a single builder and he didn't build very much. And, it was a competitive situation, but that was just a one-off. Every other new home that I've sold hasn't been competitive. Like the most competitive thing is usually getting your earnest money in because that's how you take a home off the market, right? So cheers. So I want to show you this graph. And this is super telling. And we talk about this a lot in our company. I have to share screen. And I like it because this is colorful too. It looks good. These people did a good job of making this. Okay, so this graph is essentially a bunch of blue lines with green lines underneath it and yellow underneath that. And what this is showing is new home sales. And this is the max. So we have from 1975 to 2020 up on the screen right now. And basically from 1990 to 2006, the new home sales skyrocket to the moon and then drop suddenly. I mean, over the course of 2 years, but that's very sudden whenever you're thinking of real estate. So you can see it better in the max, like what happened. So I think I said this last week as well, but a bunch of builders around the US and here in Oklahoma did end up going what we call belly up in the financial crisis or the recession of 2008. In Oklahoma, There were homes just sitting like half finished, etc. And really what happened is no, the builders didn't ramp their production back up, which was tough because ultimately, um, so, like, I was a senior in college. No, I was a freshman in college when the recession happened. It was still receded whenever graduated. A lot of my, friends didn't end up going to get jobs, they ended up going and doing their master's degree, etcetera. I did not, but, that is a different story, and now I'm a real estate agent, yay. So, basically millennials were about ready to buy houses. And, we are the largest generation that, they've seen. And I'm a middle millennial, so I'm like very in the middle of everything. So, you know, my husband isn't a millennial and he's 44. And so people up to the age of 43 at this point are millennials. And so once we started buying houses, they just hadn't ramped up the production of houses enough for new builds to allow for us to buy houses and keep the prices down. And then all that other stuff happened where interest rates were really low. And all that stuff happened. There's a lot of different reasons for the lack of inventory in the market at this point. However, builders have ramped their production up a little late, but it has happened. So that's what we're going to talk about. Enough of the boring graphs. Let's look at some houses. Let's look and talk about some builders and where they're building and why they're building there and why you should move to one of these houses. So, excuse me, I'm going to readjust on my chair because I was slipping off the front of it. So here we go. This I was just going through. This is the MLS. I was just going through the new listings for all of today. So I go through new listings like at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day. But sometimes there's not very many by the end of the day. Usually they're all just there in the beginning of the day. So that's what I do. And I look through them to see like what's going to work for my clients or something interesting that came on the market. Maybe there's something I want to go video. I do that a lot. So another reason for you to watch my channel if you'd like. Cheers. Ah, good stuff. All right, so here we go. I have a saved search for us. We're going to start with Norman. And that's because that's where I live. And there are so many other places to look for brand new homes. The next one I'll do is Oklahoma City, but if there's a town that you want me to cover, then I want you to tell me which town you want me to cover because that's more fun when we get to talk about it. So we're going to go to Norman first, and I have all of these saved here for you guys. And new homes in Norman results. So there's a certain way that I do this. I like save it and like see, what's never been occupied. So we have these patio homes up here first. It said single family, and it technically is. This is currently the cheapest, the most inexpensive home that you can get in Norman today. It's this house on Riva Parkway in Verona Landing. So first thing I'll do is explain where all of these homes are being built in Norman. I have this one video, and for the life of me, cannot remember what I called it, but I kind of showed where or how houses were built, how Norman became Norman. So we have some homes in the middle of Norman that are much older. Not statehood necessarily. Statehood is 1907 for Oklahoma, but like 1920, I can find a decent amount of houses that were built around that point. And then, of course, the 50s is when it really starts amping up, right? So this, if you can see this, and if you can't, I'm going to explain it. We have these new build neighborhoods in Norman. So south of Highway 9, especially along 77, will have quite a few new builds here in Norman. And I'll show you some of those. Usually they're under $400,000. And then east of 12th Street and north of Highway 9, we get a bunch that are typically between 350 and $500,000. In the middle of town, there are very few, and we do have some that are what we call tornado houses available right now. That sounds terrible, but basically, they were destroyed in the last tornado, which was last spring. Yes, last spring we had some homes that were destroyed in one of our tornadoes, and so some homes have been rebuilt because of that. And then we have the neighborhood around where I live in North Norman, and then just a few in West Norman. So I'm going to discuss with you a little bit about these builders, how like if they build a lot of homes, if they build not very many homes, etc. If I've sold them before, if I have any clients that might be interested in them, things like that. So the first one is this one, Riva Parkway. This is an 1,585 square foot house. It's 3-bed, 2-bath. It does have a 1-car garage. We have some in the next neighborhood over from us that have 1 cars, but they haven't built brand new ones with 1 car in a very long time. And I just think that it's useful. I also think the idea of carports are very useful, but not very many get built. So for this home, and I'll be honest with you, this is a brand new neighborhood. I have not been in any of these homes yet, but they are offering $5,000 in closing costs. So what does that mean? So as a buyer, you have closing costs. The seller has some too, but the buyer typically has more, especially if they're getting financing on a house. So when you have your closing costs, it just depends on your type of loan, how many points you're going to buy down, because you can actually make your interest rate lower by buying down points at the beginning. And so $5,000 would cover not entirely, like in my experience on a regular conventional loan, probably looking at like $8,000. And that's such an estimate, guys. It's such an estimate. Like, I don't know exactly because every loan is going to be different. Title companies are different. Yes, so about $8,000 would be the total closing cost for a buyer, and then you would have this $5,000 that the builder is offering you. So what would that mean if you were gonna pay cash for something like this? Well, then typically that means that, you could go down in price from 259,900, which is 260,000. I'm sorry, that's one of my, like, pet peeves. I understand. I guess I understand when realtors and builders, have these numbers like this, or like whenever you see 259,999, I don't know. I'm like, this isn't Walmart. Like, it's a house. It doesn't anyway. That's off on a tangent. I just don't think that's really necessary. So in these homes, what we're going to see is siding on the outside, not very much brick on these homes. They actually are bricked down the side. And I get this question a lot about brick here in Oklahoma. You see that we have red brick homes, but they're not structural. We live in stick homes, so they're made out of wood. The brick is just for looks, but it does, of course, keep out all of like the issues with uh, the sun and the rain and all of that stuff. So there are definitely pros to having a brick house. I definitely grew up in a siding house. My parents do not like the look of brick. And I live in a brick house now, but if I had my choice, I would probably live in a rock house because I think they're prettier. My husband thinks I'm insane. But here we are. So this one, and the tapping you hear is me violently hitting my forward arrow so that I can show you these pictures. So a lot of these new homes are going to have this very kind of neutral look to them. This one does look like it has tile on the floor. So it's wood-like tile. You can see that it's tile because of the grout lines. So if you need to like know how to tell, that's how. If it's luxury vinyl plank, then it won't have any lines on the edges. It will just be like seamless. And they do put ceiling fans in these. Sometimes I see builders that don't. And in the South, that doesn't really work for people. We do like ceiling fans. And then it has this tiny little open kitchen, and it does have a pantry, which is the only way you can get really any storage with this. It does have white cabinets, a white island, and then that sort of gray countertop. So, like I said, I haven't been in these homes yet. I can't wait to go in and look at one of them. So, if one of you wants to see them, please let me know and let's go do that. These are kind of long, skinny houses. Sorry, I was like having an issue. These are kind of long, skinny houses. So all of the bedrooms are going to be in the back of these. And one thing you'll notice with a lot of our homes here, especially under that 500K range, we have single story homes. That's how Oklahoma rolls. So, yeah. So the builder on this one is Remington, which is a local company. The owner does live here in Norman to my knowledge, though I've never met him. Okay. So next we have all of these homes in north central Norman. Let me show you where these are. So if you're looking at a map, these are going to be just north of Tecumseh and just east of Flood. There's this used to be a big open pasture. It's not a big open pasture anymore because it's got some houses in it. So there's two different neighborhoods. They're really one, but there's like two different builders. So you can the one is Ideal Homes, and then the other one is going to be Landmark, which is like a sister company of Ideal Homes. I do have an entire video about this neighborhood if you are interested in it. So these homes in Flint Hills, which is the name of that neighborhood, right now are starting at 296,523. It's a very specific number. It's very specific, but this home is a 1,158 square feet. It's 3 beds, 2 baths. It does have a 2-car garage, where the one we looked at before had a 1-car garage. This one has a more modern front. Ideal Homes is doing modern fronts. They have a modern style, which is what this is, if you can see it. If you cannot, that just means clean, straight lines, typically either like totally horizontal or completely vertical lines. And then on the inside, a lot more like straight lines. So if you can see the photos of this, this is not the actual home. So all of the Ideal Homes in this neighborhood are going to have completely open kitchens. Well, no, that's a lie. There are a couple of plans that have kind of the kitchen at the front of the house, but then it's got like a peninsula so that it's open to the rest of the house. But this one is, yeah, pretty basic. So in Flint Hills, we go all the way from that 1,158 square foot all the way up to like this one's 1,486, and this one's more of like this one is the traditional style. It's got columns on the front porch, a larger front porch, which I really like. I really like my large front porch on my Ideal Home house. And then in most of these, like they don't put carpet anymore in the like living areas, although they're typically going to be in the bedroom areas. So, yeah. Another builder here in Norman that is local is Home Creations. So the Farzane family has a few different people in the family, and they are very involved. In fact, the college that I went to, or the like I went to OU, but then like the college is actually named Farzane. But this is one of their companies, and they are building a lot of homes in this neighborhood called Bellatona. I don't. I don't have a video about Bellatona in general. But these are really good options, and it's really close to the University of Oklahoma, like really close to it. And then it's also going to be really close to the Postal Training Center, Hitachi, Noble, like it's down there, just north of Highway 9. So it's south of campus, but north of Highway 9. That's where these are. So they're starting right now. This one's 1,876 square feet. And these are all going to be 2-car garages in Bellatona. So we'll get back to those in a second. Here's another one in Flint Hills, and it's a little over 1,900 square feet for $335,000. And then there's one left, I think, in Greenleaf Trails, which is actually the neighborhood that I live in. So it's just down the street. And it's 1,586 square feet and 336,000. So that would be really nice because you'd only have to deal with like a tiny bit of construction. There may be another couple of houses that they're going to put on the market because they're building down the street from me, but it won't be anything crazy. I've had to deal with a lot of building in my neighborhood. So Ideal Homes is local, Home Creations is local, Remington is local. We've covered those three so far. Sheridan Homes is also local, and I've sold some of his homes. I don't know how many he builds a year. I'm thinking it's like 10, maybe a little bit more. I know that he does some custom builds as well, where Remington and Home Creations and Ideal Homes, especially Ideal Homes and Home Creations, like you can build a custom, but you're just picking things. With Sheridan Homes, if you did something like that, you would be actually like in the entire design process, and you usually have to like find the lot unless he has one of the lots available. So that's also a really interesting option. And so this one's in Alameda Park, which is on the east side of Norman and a little bit further north. So it's going to be just south of Robinson Street. And someone, I don't know who this is, to be honest, but someone built this house on Gray Street. So Gray Street is right in the middle of Norman. There are no empty lots that I've seen. So this one, maybe they tore something down. I bet you they did because I think I've been in that house next door to it. Yeah, it's interesting. It's walkable to downtown Norman, so that might be really fun. So this one, let's sorry, you can kind of see, if you can see this, it's a drone shot of where this house is in Norman. But I like these blonde floors in this house, a little gray on the walls. It's a little bit long and skinny, not too bad. And then the bedrooms you can just see. And like, I'm a realtor, so I've been in a lot of houses, so I just know how it's laid out. But it looks like the primary bedroom is going to be there at the back, and then on the front of the house is where the two hall bedrooms are going to be. This does still have an island. Islands are still very much so in right now. So that's cool that that still has that. And they did put ceiling fans in this house as well. This house also has a lot of cabinets. They put uppers in. So, you know, that space between your cabinet and the ceiling, like sometimes there's an empty space there. So if they fill that up, it's called an upper. And that's what it looks like here. And they don't have a walk-in pantry, but they have like a cabinet style pantry. So that could be really interesting. Okay, moving on. The Springs at Flint Hills is another spot that's really interesting in Norman. I love these homes from Landmark. I need to do some videos on them because I think they're beautiful. I think I did one a couple of weeks ago. I did. I did like a short like walkthrough style of one of the Landmark homes. But it's just they have a really modern looking style and it's really interesting. So this side of the Springs at Flint Hills is going to be gated. We don't have a ton of gated neighborhoods in Norman. In other towns, yes. In Norman, not so much. Cheers. So, one of the points I want to make here, we started off looking at homes in Norman of $260,000. The median price point in the US for a brand new home is $420,700. It's a deal, guys. It's a deal to live here. And it totally depends on what your version of a deal is and if you can handle living in Oklahoma, but it's quite a deal. So the sun just went down. That's why my stuff just turned black on my computer. It's thankfully getting dark much later. All right, I want to get to some of these. Cedar Lane's another neighborhood. It's going to be in South Norman. And I just did videos on a couple of these homes. So definitely hit subscribe. So if you want to see some of these, because I did, was it that one? No, I did this one yesterday. I did a video tour of the inside, so you'll be able to see it, but it's not released yet. So you have to hit that to see it. St. James Park is another area that people really enjoy, very close to Hitachi and the University of Oklahoma. It is south of Highway 9. So R&R Homes is building some in there. Honestly, I haven't built one, or sorry, I haven't helped someone buy an R&R home. I've been in a few, and So I can't really tell you, like, I don't know. I believe that they are local, and I am unsure just because they just started ramping up production, so I'm not entirely sure on their front. What I tell people sometimes is to go look at Google reviews, but guys, when you're looking at Google reviews, know that everyone who wrote that was super angry. So so you have to take Google reviews with a grain of salt, right? Like you cannot take them at face value. I'm trying to get into some of these other neighborhoods that are a little bit higher end. So higher end, just at a higher price point, essentially. Summit Valley is going to be right next to Bellatona, and some of that neighborhood is 10, 15 years old, and some of it's brand new. So I really like those neighborhoods because it does help the value of the homes, and because there's not a lot of construction going on, because a lot of people really don't like construction around their house. Okay, another one is Sienna Springs. So I think this one of the agents in our office lists these homes because her dad, who is local, is the builder. So it's not that one, but it is some of them. So Summit Valley, definitely, and Sienna Springs. Sienna Springs is going to be more east and more north. So it's northeast of that Bellatona neighborhood. Holbrook is a super interesting neighborhood. I've sold a lot of houses in here and I really like them. I kind of wished I lived there, but Handsome didn't. Handsome's my husband. You guys will meet him soon on the live streams and the podcast. But it's more east, and there's a lot of trees in Holbrook. So this is the only new build that I know of that's for sale in Holbrook right now. They're doing a lot of customs in Holbrook. And I like the builders. I think they're awesome. And I really like these little patio homes that they've done, and they're almost done building them. So there's two sections of Holbrook. You can, purchase homes up to like 1.5 million, or, build homes up to like 1.5 million. I'm making that number up, but it is quite up there in terms of value. And then you have these PUDs. You have this PUD, which is a planned urban development, and they're like patio homes. And every one that I've been in, I've just loved, and I have sold them before. I think they're just amazing. But this one is 1,800 square feet for $392,000. And everyone that I've been in is very high quality. I love selling these homes. I think they're gorgeous. So, all right. There's one in particular that I wanted to talk about with you guys. Oh, yes, here they are. Selah. So, Selah is a it's not brand new. It's been around for a few years. It's a new urbanism community. So I'm a student of new urbanism. If you guys don't know what that is, please go look it up. I will put it on the banner for you so that you can see and do some Googling. Some people love it, some people hate it. I just really like the idea of it. So new urbanism is this idea of like having mixed development and having walkable communities. So this development in South Norman in Selah was built, well, I have some video of it, not a ton, but it's really down there. Let me show you on a map. I'll give you the cross streets, but like it is quite far south. So you can see it right here. Did I not mark it? Here it is. Nope, that's not far enough south, guys. Really? There they are. So I'm going to zoom out. So if you are looking at Norman and you look down at a town called Goldsby, there will be a few homes, and there are two, I believe, listed right now. I saw one the other day, and they're very beautiful, and it's super interesting. But basically, it's a walkable community, and it also has commercial stuff in it, but not commercial like someone's going to be like building and like welding next to you. It's like, oh, here's a restaurant and here's an office, like more soft commercial things. So let me show you these two homes at Selah. So this one is 1,300 square feet, 1,307. It looks terrible in the photo right now because there's no landscaping. Guys, I gotta have a drink. Cheers. And then it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and the price is $450,000. But you're buying into this community. And the pictures are so tiny. I don't know why they did this. It's kind of a long, skinny house. The idea here with new urbanism, one of the things is that it is a community where you sit on your front porch and you know your neighbors. So right now in this community, there is, I believe, an event center. There is like a coffee shop called Sip at Selah, which is really cute. Like I really liked it. And then there's Pryor's Pizza. So Pryor's Pizza used to be in Norman, and well, I mean, it's still in Norman. It's in Goldby, but it moved out here, and we think the pizza is really good. They have like outdoor areas for seating with fire pits. You can play pickleball. You can play ping pong. It's a real like we've had events for our office there where we get together with our families, and it's a lot of fun. So um, I think the community has taken a little bit longer to take off, but it's a really interesting concept for the community and something that I think it works for a lot of people. So let me show you the other. That one was super interesting, but we won't talk about that one. Where is it? There it is. So this one's in Selah and it's just over $1 million. It is a 2-story home and it's on half an acre. So it's going to be 3,250 square feet. And they don't have many photos up for it now, but it is a 4-bed, 3.5 bathroom. So the front photo is just basically like a mock-up, but it's so cute and I love the front. Like I love the porches because like that's one thing in my community. I wish people sat on their front porches and some people do, but we just like everything's designed to sit in the back. But they say that's one of the things that's contributing to the breakdown, the degradation of communities is front porches. So, yeah, anyway. So I wanted to talk to you about Oklahoma City and those new homes there. So I think the term Oklahoma City sometimes freaks people out because it's quite like I mean it's large obviously, but they think like city living is in the city and it's just not the case. So what I've done here is we're just going to talk about the areas that new homes are going in Oklahoma City. So Oklahoma City, and I had to explain this to someone recently, but it is super big in terms of land mass. And the reason for that is because it was in the 60s, Stanley Draper, who's like one of the fathers of Oklahoma City, said, "Oh my gosh, we don't want to be like Pittsburgh." And when I read this, I was like, okay, that's really specific. Cheers, guys. And he didn't want to be like Pittsburgh. And the reason he said this was because Pittsburgh has all of its suburbs kind of hemming in the city, meaning that they can't grow. Like the city of Pittsburgh can't grow out. And so Stanley Draper said, I don't want that to happen. So he annexed like a bunch of land, like thousands of acres. So you can live in Oklahoma City and have a full-on horse farm with a bunch of horses and a well and a private septic system. Like it's insane. But that is how it works. And I've had conversations with people about this for like Mustang, etc. Because for like Mustang, the city of Oklahoma City completely surrounds the city of Mustang. And there's these issues of if you go to the grocery store that's in Oklahoma City, those sales taxes go to Oklahoma City and not your town, even though you are shopping across the street. So this is a problem. Anyway, I will get off my soapbox on that because I really think it's a big problem. Why is this not giving me there? Okay, so I want to look at some of these areas with you. So Crystal Hills. So this is one that's been really popular lately. So these are home creation homes. These are in Oklahoma City 73179, and they are in Mustang. So, like I was saying, this is one of the issues that we've run into. So just know that, right? So Crystal Hills is definitely one of the home creations neighborhoods. So you can get a 1,257 square foot home for $237,000. And my reason for saying that is to let you know that I love Norman so much and it is expensive. You can live in Oklahoma City for less. That is just the honest to God truth of it. Okay, we also have a bunch of homes being built in the College Park Edition. So this is going to be way up north, technically in Britain. Britain used to be a town within Oklahoma City, and it's not anymore. So I don't know this builder. This is PCS Homes. I'm guessing what that stands for, but I haven't ever sold any of their houses, to be honest with you. So these homes all have, it looks like luxury vinyl planking in them, traditional looking, um, with it looks like some big windows, a kind of a corner kitchen. We call a corner kitchen one that kind of has a peninsula and then more cabinets than a truly open kitchen. So this is going to be for $248,000 for 1,420 square feet. These homes are going to be really close. Let me bring up the map for you. My cats are cooing at me. So it's going to be really easy to get to Edmond. And then also like Topgolf. Those are all that stuff is right there. So huge shopping district within Oklahoma City. So that might be good. Okay. So next, let me talk about Palermo really quickly. So this is another home creations neighborhood. And like this house is going to be $293,000, 1,350 square feet. This is in Oklahoma City, but it's in more school districts. Why is that important? A lot of people really like more school district. That's I sell a lot of homes in more school district because of this. And this neighborhood does have a pool and just have like a little rec facility where you can go work out and probably rent it, I believe, to have like birthday parties, etc. So that's a home creations neighborhood. And one thing that you have to realize, and I can show you on the map, is that Moore, like Mustang, is completely surrounded by Oklahoma City. So Moore's right here. Moore is directly on I-35. And I think starting at what, like Santa Fe or something like that. And then on the other side, on the east side as well, Oklahoma City touches Norman. So it goes Norman, Moore, Oklahoma City from south to north. But yes, you guessed it. Oklahoma City completely surrounds Moore and comes all the way down to Norman. So that's how that works. So that's an interesting neighborhood as well. Going back to, yes, I'll do the Springs at Native Plains. This is another really cute neighborhood. It's Ideal. Oh, it's actually Landmark, but Ideal Homes has a neighborhood in here as well. So it's the Springs at Native Plains. It's going to be gated. This is a $350,000 house for it's a 1,660 square foot home with a 2-car garage and 3 bedrooms. So, and of course, in the gated neighborhoods for Landmark, they do have a pool and a rec center. And I can see the pool because I live next to one and it looks pretty nice, but I can't go swim in it. So, if you want the pool, I guess you got to buy in, right? Okay, next I want to look at Wheeler with you guys. So Wheeler is another new urbanism community. It's so cool. I love it so much. I wish I could live there. So this is a 1,384 square foot house for $400,000, 3-bed, 2.5 bath. This is a Dutch style home. So it's 2-story, sometimes 3 stories. And it's very long and skinny, just like Dutch homes, just like in Amsterdam. Like, think of that. This one has concrete flooring, very white cabinets, very stark looking, very modern. But in this community, you have, so it's in the Wheeler district. So it's at the old Wiley Post Airfield. I think that's what they called it. It's like at an airfield, but it's not an airfield anymore. It's just directly south of downtown. You can, um, like in the community, there's different offices with different businesses. There's also a brewery, and there's some of the best tacos in Oklahoma City. So Wheeler District is really fun. We were just there, I think, last week, and I love it. I love I love it so much. I wish I could live there. And I can. I can. I haven't made that, I haven't made the that move because I love Norman, so it'd be really hard for me to move out of Norman. Like, that would be really tough. Let's see. What did I wanna look at next here with you guys? The Preserve, yes. So this is one of the landmark communities. There's a ton of houses I could show you, to be honest with you. But this is a landmark community. I have been in this house I've been in this house. So this is gonna be in Oklahoma City, but in Moore School Districts. Yeah, it's in Moore School District. So it's 3,000 square feet for $690,000. It is a 5-bed, 3-bath. And this one is cool because it does have a mother-in-law plan, which I have a lot of people asking me for lately. And there are incentives with Landmark, and there's incentives with most builders, meaning that a lot of them will buy down your interest rate right now, or they'll add in something for no cost, maybe like blinds or something like that. This is where your real estate agent really comes in handy. Excuse me, you guys. Oh my goodness. This is where your real estate agent really comes in handy because we can kind of explore all those options that you may not have thought of. But buying down points is one of the best things that you can do because then whenever interest rates drop, like, you're already down there and you don't have to worry about refinancing. Or maybe you want to. That's totally fine too. It depends on your situation. But the Preserve at Parkside is a really cool neighborhood that's in a really great location and still in a very highly rated school district. It's more schools. And this one's almost on a half an acre as well. So keep that in mind. Okay, Nichols Hills is the last one I want to show you. Let's look at this one. So there's this area in Oklahoma City called Nichols Hills, and it was its own town. And the thing that makes it so special, and until I read it, I was like, oh, duh, that makes so much sense. When you drive in it, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So the man, and I can't remember his name for the life of me, the man who developed Nichols Hills back in the day decided to build using the natural topography of the land. So dirt was not moved around. So, like, a lot of homes here are built on infill. So that's dirt that's brought in, right? But Nichols Hills is not that way. So it feels different than everywhere else. It's also extremely valuable, expensive. So this is one of the new homes that they're building in there. It's 5,482 square feet, and it's listed at 2.5 million. The mock-up, it is a 2-story. It has like rock, which I love, of course. It has some stucco, or no, that's brick. So some light brick, and then also some siding on the front of the house. And then one of those pull-through garages where you like pull into the back of your house and park in the garage behind you. So I would like to show you some of these photos. Here we go. So this one is much more modern. There's a few more photos of it, but it's more of that mid-century modern style. And of course, that's the style of my house, but it is a 4-car garage. It has blue cut stone on it. It has these beautiful window front doors, charcoal for the roof, and then the wood look siding, which is amazing. It also has a wine cellar, which is beautiful. And then the living room is going to be completely open to 2 floors. And it does also have a fireplace as well. I've gotten a lot of questions lately about fireplaces. Some homes have them and some homes do not. Sorry, I missed your. Hey, Elisa, thanks so much for joining. I appreciate that. I hope, your day went really well. So I like these homes in Nichols Hills are really beautiful, and you can also buy older homes in Nichols Hills, and you can buy some of these newer homes in Nichols Hills. So, yeah, I think they're quite gorgeous, and they're going to have different modern ones and traditional styles as well. So, I hope you guys had fun hearing about some of these houses and different areas that you could live in Norman or Oklahoma City. There's a lot more places even out in this other suburbs like Choctaw, Yukon, etc. So definitely let me know. You can drop that information in the comments, or of course, you can also give me a call or send me an email. I have my email up here. It's Marcie, Marcie, at Ruyateam Realty, RUYATEAM REALTY.com. And you'll find all that info in the notes and in the description. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you so much.